my creations for the first time at a festival. During the preparations I felt so overwhelmed because there were so many things to do, and so I thought it would be nice to share with you the process that I went through to get ready for my first big event. The first thing I started working on was the displays for the jewelry because I didn't have any, and I looked online because honestly I thought I would just buy them and save myself some time, but then I saw a few that I liked, but they were very expensive, and I thought actually I can get them done myself for like 1/10 of the price. So I bought a few boards of wood 1 meter by 20 centimeters wide, and I cut them in two so that I would have displays 50 centimeters long. And then using the meter saw, I cut some grooves in the length of the board, and that would serve me as a stand for the jewelry cards that I use. I repeated the same process for the remaining 3 boards. I then sanded them and applied 2 coats of clear varnish. And this was the result. I was really happy with how they turned out. I think I saw this online for 30 euros, and I spent for about probably like 5 euros, if not even. So definitely cost effective. You need to have a meter saw or some kind of tools that you can use obviously to cut and to make the grooves, but if you do, and if you're a little bit manual with power tools, then you will save a lot of money to make those. The next thing I did was to make some cardstock for the earrings and for the necklaces. You don't need to do this, obviously. You can just put them directly on displays or directly on your table, but I find that making cardstocks does make it look a lot neater. And also, if you put your earrings on a card, then it's much easier, I find, to just put them on a little bag and give it to them like this. And I also got a cutter to make the cuts nice and even, and I will say that this was a good investment because it does make the job more professional and also faster. Once the cardstock was cut to the right size, I stamped my logo onto it with my custom stamp. You can get one of those for 15 to 20 euros. And I also gave the option of gift wrap if it was a gift. Those are the envelopes that I showed you how to make in one of the videos. They are really cheap to make and they're really cute. So if you haven't seen that video, then I will link it here. I have an online shop, and I personally do the earrings and the jewelry when I receive the order. I don't often have a lot of stock, so I needed to get a lot of stock done for the festival, because also it was a 1 week long festival, so I really wanted to have enough things to show. The next thing I started working on was the actual physical stall, and if you're planning to do a fair or stall outdoors, then they'll probably ask you a gazebo, and it's a good idea to have in case it rains or to protect it from the sun. So I got a gazebo for 100 euros on a second-hand site, and this one had not only a roof but also side panels. I added some eyelets on the top side of the panel so that I could tie it better to the gazebo structure, and I also made a few on the bottom so that I could tie a rope to a brick to keep the panels from like floating around if it was windy. For this fair, I really tried to buy as least stuff as possible because I didn't know whether I would continue making stalls or whether this was one-off. So I tried to reuse as much as possible what I had. So I used the table that I had in the garden, and then 2 trestles with on top just a plank of wood. And then I used for each table a piece of cloth. One was actually the cover for this sofa, so I had to take it out. And then I bought another one exactly like this one for the other table. I would highly suggest finding a craft fair, or especially if it's a longer one that is close to home, because if it's your first craft fair and you're going far away and you're forgetting something, then that would really suck because you wouldn't be close to home, you couldn't go back to pick up the things. So I chose a fair that was fairly close to home so that I could go back in case I forgot anything important. The day of the event, I would highly suggest that you go there early. And I would highly suggest that you say hello to your neighbors, because they are gonna come useful, especially if it's a longer event. I don't know how many times I asked people around me to check on the stall because I needed to go pee, or you know, people offering you maybe a drink if they're going to the drink stall and things like that. So I would highly recommend you just saying hello and introduce yourself. And also, if you can bring someone with you, it's gonna be so useful for setting everything up. I could do everything myself. The gazebo is made so you can do it by yourself, but it's just a lot less hassle if you have somebody helping you. I had also done a little video showing what I make, because I sell mainly sea glass and people often don't know what that is, so I put a digital frame video in it, just quickly explaining what that was, and that did help with people coming over and just having a look and then be like, oh, is that what it is? So if you have anything particular that you make, making a little video, even of just you working, I think really does add something to the store. At the end, for the displays, I didn't end up buying anything. I used the displays that I made, the boards, and then I also used a lot of driftwood that I find at the lake. Obviously you will want to get some change for people paying cash, but I also decided to invest in a card reader. This is the SumUp card reader, and it wasn't that expensive. I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was less than 50 euros, and mainly because I never have cash with me, and if people don't have card readers, then I don't buy anything. If you can make your jewelry or craft, whatever it is, on the spot, then do it, because it's gonna add value. People are gonna see that you actually make the things and how you make them, and it's gonna make them curious, but also because that way you will have something to do and you're not just gonna stare at the clients coming by. So I truly enjoyed having those craft stalls. I think that I will make more in the future. One thing that I would say is that you need to contact those festivals or events, whatever it is, many months in advance. So if you are planning to do a full year of craft stalls, then I would sit down maybe at the start of the year and check all of the festivals or things that you want to do and send an email far in advance, because lots of those festivals have their spaces closed like 6 months before the festival itself. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I just thought my thoughts are fresh now. I need to put it out now, otherwise I will forget most of the things that I learned. And if you have any specific questions, then do let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!